Been following along with me, moving the cows into the broom sedge patch. I shot a video on this pasture last fall, and it's broken up kind of in the middle of it. But I just wanted to walk through here real quick. I should have put some more off on because the ticks are really out. But I want to show you what it looked like before the cows knocked this down. Now this is May 7th, and we're going to do a quick video here. But we've got a bunch of spring calves on the ground, and they're coming through finding mom because there's a hard fence in between, and these calves have never been through this gate before. But this is my first rotation on this, I think, since at least January, maybe a little before, probably since I shot that video. So go back and find that broom sedge video. But let's take a look at it. You can still see the broom sedge sticking up over the top, and broom sedge is a warm season grass, so you really notice it in the fall. I've heard Joel Salatin talk about all the lease farms that he picked up. You really notice the broom sedge when you start rotationally grazing, because the cows actually eat broom sedge quite a bit. It's really the only thing that's green and growing in August in the extreme heats. We're on a cool season, predominantly cool season fescue pastures. We do have some clover here, but that broom sedge is really green and growing and pretty succulent, I imagine. Probably a lot better than this fescue in the heat of the summer. So let's flip you around, we'll talk about this. Is historically, my dad said that he soil tested this farm when he was about my age, and he said that it was one of the poorest farms in the county. So let's take that for what it's worth. I will tell you, I've seen it's hard to know when you come in and take over. This place was just always grazed down. They mowed it at least once a year, maybe twice a year with a brush hog. So it's hard to say how much total production they actually had. But this farm, 150 acres, I think about 117 of it's actually grass. The rest is mostly woods. They'd run 35, maybe 40 cows over here. Leave the bull in all year, so you had calves coming all the time, so that can change your cow needs and those kinds of things. But the cows were always pretty happy. But there was it was always just, the grass was just about 3-4 inches tall. So that is what it is. It's hard to measure and know how much they actually produced at that point. But you never saw the broom sedge because those cows always had access to it in the summertime. In this patch, probably 6 acres here, I'd say the first couple of years that I was on here, this was probably 80% broom sedge. And you could see still quite a bit of it sticking through this green. And there's patches of it in Missouri all over the place. You could fix it by spending quite a bit of time and money on fertility products and different things, but we're doing it naturally here with cows and unrolling a bunch of hay. I've bale grazed out here. You can see this is a place we bale grazed 2 years ago. It's not very it takes longer to recover when you bale graze it. This is a thicker thatch. If you're doing alfalfa and you make the cows clean it up, usually your turnaround's about 6 months, I'd say. Maybe a little longer for that stuff that was fed in February. But the earlier you feed it, the faster it breaks down. And I'd say usually that alfalfa, the ground just absorbs it. But the grass hay, it's going to stick around for 1 year, maybe 2 here. We get 43 inches of average annual rainfall. So your mileage may vary on that. I just wanted to put that in context for you here in mid-Missouri. So we break down pretty quickly, but not, we're not southern tropical rainforest. We're also not out west, so we get quite a bit of rainfall, quite a bit of soil activity, and we have a little bit more flexibility to mess up than you guys out west. So that's where we're at. So again, this was 2 years ago. We probably fed a bale here and a bale here. It's growing, it's coming through. You won't notice these different variety of weeds and different things next year. You could see over on that hill there, I bale grazed 2 years in a row. It looked pretty bad, and I can't see any bare spots over there. It's all green growing, still mostly that Kentucky 31 infected fescue, endophyte infected fescue, but it is what it is. We see more diversity, definitely with the rotational grazing, letting it rest. We've got some natives coming on. And again, we probably had some of that when I was a kid. You just didn't notice it because you mowed it all off. And the cows like it. So if you get down in here, we've got that's not clover, that's Lespedeza right there. spider. Lespedeza, and then we've got, this will be red clover. We've got white clover. This orchard grass, I think. Already heading out. Here's a native. I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm not a plant expert, so if I call some of these out, don't be afraid to yell at me. I'm learning, but I'm not perfect. I don't know what that is. It's not red top or purple top or whatever you call it. Kind of looks like fescue. It's not, but that's got a big thick leaf. Anyway, we've got some of this little type of stuff. So you can call them weeds, you can call them forbs, you can train your cows to eat them. Sheep love them. Cows will eat quite a bit of them once they get used to it. If you get to rotate and tighten them up, add a little competition. I actually saw a cow eat a thorn tree the other day. It was really cool. Not because she was hungry, just because she just nibbled on the edge of it. It was a honey locust, and she just cleaned off the tips, just enjoying herself, just browsing. But here's that broom sedge. You know, it comes on real thick in the summertime. Doesn't, you know, if I graze this a little better and it would have more competition from the standing fescue, probably wouldn't grow quite as well as it is doing right now. But I'm learning, and this soil definitely needed some rejuvenation. And so what I wanted to show you here was this, I unrolled some hay out here last fall, this winter. So I shot a video, on this broom sedge field, and you can see, you can't see it extremely well, but there's a dark green strip just 4 foot wide. You see it really well here, and it goes all the way out and around, and over, and so that's all that unrolling. That's what it does. Now, whether it's just the extra carbon in the soil, covering it up, or whether it's the manure, the urine that they were putting on top, when it gets cold, they like to lay down on top of what they don't eat. Yeah, you're gonna waste a little bit more, but you're gonna save a little energy from insulation. Here we got some more. We got some more weeds. I should know that one. Common farm weed, but we call them forbs around here. Sorry, I'm allergic to all this stuff apparently. Bluegrass, I think. I think that's bluegrass. I think the other one's Timothy. I think that one I was showing you earlier was. No, orchard grass. Orchard grass is what it was. Sorry, orchard grass. That's bluegrass. I'll get there, guys. But you can look at this. You know, these cows are going to come around here and they're hitting that strip, that high fertility green stuff. They're just taking a little bite of everything. They're going to eat the best, and that's what they wanted. So. Hi, sweetie. What are you doing? I know. Good girl. Yeah. We like gentle cows. You can see a manure patty here from last fall. It's just absolutely getting torn up. The microbial life in the soil when you quit using ivermectins jumps up. I've seen some sheep patties get taken into the ground in 3 days. Doesn't happen often, but it's kind of neat when it does. Yeah, I can see some ants, and that's kind of neat to me. A couple of bees working over there. But I guess the other thing we could do is we can look down in here and see. We're now inside that green spot. And there's soil covered down there. But it's not covered real deep, so I'd say they ate this down pretty good. And this is mostly just from the natural fertility they put back in, urinating and defecating on top. So pretty cool. Here's another spot you can see. I just put out a bale, probably early fall, early winter, or sorry, late fall, early winter. And you can see it's starting to come up. I think people plant stuff in this. I haven't had a lot of experience with it, but probably turkeys or something's come along and they kind of dig up. You know, if you had pigs, wild pigs, or, you know, armadillos, I think we get a few of those here and there, but something's come through, scratched through this. You know, hunting for bugs and grubs and whatever. So this is not real close to the house, so you get all kinds of critters back in here, and just nature uses what you give her. You can see here Don't need a harrow, just need something to go through, scratch around, and eat. So somebody's been getting some grubs up here, working it around. And it'll all be gone next year. Should look like just good pasture. Clover always grows around the outside because the cows have their heads pointed towards the bale and their back ends coming out here, and that's where all the clover ends up. So just wanted to show you kind of a few different options that we've done, a few different things. They're different tools in the toolbox. I really like bale grazing, setting out all my bales, and then just hot wiring them off as much as I want to give the cows at a time. That's a super time saver, you know, especially if I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get back to the cows for some reason or another, like it's -40 for a week or two. You know, make sure you get everything set up, and just, you know, I need to be checking water tanks at that point, making sure all the cows are alive and everything's good. I don't need to be coming over here and dragging bales all over the place. And sometimes I'll feed, you know, 6 to 10 bales a day. And that's an awful lot of work when it gets cold. If you have you just got to keep the waters undone. So that's a time saver for me. I'll set out enough for a week or two. And then I can come out here 5 minutes, rope them off. It's a tool in the toolbox. Really like bale grazing. But you do sacrifice the, you know, some of your grass production, so it's going to come back better. I guess you're delaying your grass production is what I would say. But it's a cool tool in the toolbox. Definitely a time saver, labor saver. If you don't own a tractor, you know, you can get out there and you can set them all up in a day. I can feed 30 cows in 4 hours, and then go check, you know, go move them every for a month. I think when I was doing a lot of it, I would set up, I'd get my dad's tractor, I'd run it over here. We'd already have the hay bales here, and I'd set up, you know, 30 days for 30 cows in about 4 hours, set them up on end. Then I'd have somebody, or I'd go around and take all the wraps off. And then I'd just feed them, you know, 3-4 days a week at a time, whatever I needed. So those are options. Whatever you got in your toolbox, that's cool. You could also combine that, you know, you know, if you've got all your cows there, you can put all your bales up here, and then unroll them. You know, you have options. If you unwrap all your bales and then just set them over, you know, if you can get to them, great. You can unroll them, but if not, you can just let the cows get what they need to. So you got options, lots of flexibility there. The unrolling thing, way better for the pastures in the short term, long term, every term. Anytime you're growing more grass, you're putting more carbon in the soil. You know, you're cycling those nutrients faster, you're feeding the microorganisms. Anytime you can get that production to increase through something you don't have to spend extra money on, you're going to have to spend a little more time, a little bit more labor unrolling that hay. And, you know, I enjoy it. What else we got to do all day, right? That's my fertilizer program. I'd rather feed a little extra hay than buy fertilizer and those kinds of things. And so unrolling hay like that, this pasture, it looks a lot better than it did last fall. You know, and I have a hard time remembering that. My memory is about, you know, a month, sometimes a few weeks. But this pasture looks really good right now. On the other side here, looks really good too. And that bale grazing really has made a big difference this year in the production, the fertility of the soil. And as long as we don't overgraze it and take that back out, that should continue to build every year that I do this. So that's why I like bale grazing. I do think it's better if you have the time and the labor and the equipment to do it. Again, the Greg Judy bale unroller, you can pull it with a little pickup truck. I pull it with my car, Ford Escape, 2-wheel drive most of the time. You know, when it gets muddy, I've got a Honda Rancher, and then this is a Mule 610, same engine. It's like 420 cc's. It's not real big, but it's well balanced, and it's definitely got a place. The one on the tractor, you know, you could set that up on a small tractor, big tractor. Bale unroller works really well on a tractor. I like it. It's heat and air conditioned. Don't have to get out and mess with taking stuff off. But mine, for some reason, doesn't unroll quite as consistently as the Greg Judy bale unroller. So, you know, I have both those tools. I like them both. If you guys want to see a video about my thoughts and opinions and comments on that, that's fine. If I was going to have one, I drive up and down the road with that bale unroller quite a bit in the winter time. It actually, I take care of. Now, I try to get more hay there in case of emergencies and those kinds of things. But you know, if you're going to check cows, I've got a farm that's 18 miles from home, and I hook a bale on the back of that bale on roller, and you know, when I'm feeding hay, I just take one every single day. And it's probably not what it's designed for. It's probably a little hard on it, but I don't know how long it'll last. But it's pretty simple and probably weldable. And the guy who builds them lives right over here behind me, so you know, I know where to go to get them fixed, I guess, or buy another one if I tear that one up too bad. But it's a good tool in the toolbox. I like it. If I had to have one, I'd probably start with that one. But if you got a tractor and you're feeding just at home, you know, having a bale and roller on the back works just about as easy as a spike. You still got to take the net wrap off, but you know, you're doing that with you should be doing that with a spike anyway, if you care about your land and your cattle's stomach. I know a lot of people feed them, but it's not the way I like to do it. It's not the natural way, I guess. Plastics. Anyway, that's what we got, folks. That's where I'm at. Those are the tools in my toolbox. That's how we're building this farm back, and we're getting rid of a lot of this broom sedge. But if I turn in here in August, those cattle are going to go and eat it. So, you know, if you can get over looking at the eyesore, you know, in the dead of winter, of having some broom sedge up, this is what it can look like in the spring. And again, you could probably lime it and fertilize it. I probably need to do some of that. But if I'm spending money on something, I'll just soon be spending money on hay, buying somebody else's fertilizer, and those kinds of things, and building up the fertility. So if you guys like this video or have any questions, leave that comment down below. But like, subscribe, follow for more. I'm always looking for good content to make. I know haven't been real consistent with making videos lately. I've been pretty busy working. But you know, the more you ask questions and leave comments, the more I'm encouraged to do this more regularly. And appreciate you guys. Thanks for your time.